state. But once it begins to have evidence to choose from, you know, different pathways, different perceptions to choose from, that's when the perversion can slip in. Same with the seed. You take a seed, it produces a fruit. And a fruit produces another seed. You feel what I'm saying? There's a process, a natural, divine process. No, that's not. Well, look at the fruit of that. Look at the fruit. You can tell a tree by its fruit. Look at that tree. Look what that union has done. What kind of fruit are they producing? He wants you at your highest capability. Your highest self means you're producing at its highest capability, which means you need to be producing fruit. With child as well. He says, be fruitful and multiply. How can you multiply outside of that space? Is it possible? You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is we get situations like that where the children have been perverted, where those sections have been perverted. And so God can't move because there's blockage. There's confusion there. You're talking to me divinely. He's like, well, you're not operating inside of me. You're not operating inside of me. Like, I have this natural, I'm looking at you, the way is easy, but you keep making it hard because you keep going this way, which is not of me. I'm over here. I've mapped it out for you. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard, but we get these things and we get pulled this way. And all of a sudden we have this addiction. It's an addiction. You know what an addiction is? Addiction is subconscious. It's in your subconscious. You don't even know why you want it. You just want it. You don't understand why you want it. You just want it. Lust of a woman, that's an addiction. It's an uncontrollable response because of the information that you put into your brain. What you've allowed yourself to see. How you trained your mind. How you trained your mind. This is how it's become to grow into fruition. How are you training? How are you conditioning yourselves each and every day? What are you putting into your system? Are you putting the highest grade of fuel into your body, into your mind, into your spirit? Are you doing that? So how can you possibly be at your highest self if you don't even have the right ingredients? And that means like it's food for your mind, your body, and your soul. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are you speaking to? Who's in your vibration? Who's polluting your vibration? You know what I'm saying? It's God. God with us. Can I recognize the God in you? Okay, I can recognize the God in you. So if I bring the God out more in you, you'll bring the God out more in me. So we all win because we'll be walking on the same vibration. So it works for me to be on your team because it wasn't designed. He has not set any of you. He made image. All of you are images of Him. Images of Him. It can't work with just one piece of the image. You feel what I'm saying? It's a grand image of Him. He needs the image to come out. He has His picture. He has it laid out. So you mean to tell... I have this thing here. I'm just going to use it. It's because it's a Mormon. I'm not going to use that. Because it's a Jew, I'm not going to use that. I can't make a miracle out of that. Your man said that. You said that. As men, you said that. As men, you created these divisions. Because what you thought, your perception of me, you started thinking. You started thinking. You started thinking, you said, no, this is what it is. You claimed it as this. You claimed it. It's natural. It's natural. A baby knows who God is. You don't think a baby, you don't think I put in a child to know who God is? Come on. It's God. The Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end, infinitely around us all. He's inside of us all. Hallelujah. I'm sorry, I get excited naturally.
Don't be sorry, son.
I get excited naturally because I know who God is. Because I've seen Him work through me and through others. I can see Him working through you. I see Him. I see Him, and I'm just trying to get Him out. But you gotta love yourself. You gotta love these people long enough to know what it is. Know what it is. You gotta get your ego out the way. Who are you at 19? Who am I at 25? Who am I at 1? Who am I at 35? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I'm one of his children. And so as one of his children, I'm gonna act so. I'm gonna act so. I'm gonna act so. You have a gift from God. Your voice is angelic. You have a gift from God. Hallelujah. Use it. It's easy. It's paving your way naturally. You have a gift in so many realms. And if you connect your gift with what he's called you to do, that's alignment. That's alignment. That's alignment. You know it's a gift because it's the fruit of the Spirit. What does it do to the people around you? How does it move them? How does it move you? How does it work? Are you doing it consciously? You talk to a pen. Dude, you talk to a pen.
I said that in confidence.
You talk to a pen. You talk to the paper, but no, there's a principle in that. You understand the principle of speaking life. And that's why I'll be honest with you. I don't like when people curse around me. It bothers me because I know the training in it. I see the wash. I see it. I see the wash. There's wash. You think, man, it goes on so many levels. It's so many levels. You think corruption just happens on one opposite end.
3 Kings.
You think that corruption can't happen with our own bloodline, with your family.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
If you look in the Bible, it says your sisters and your brothers. Mothers will be against mothers. Brothers will be against brother. Daughter will be against mother. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. So, when it comes to love is a religion. Love is a race. Love is it's a population. It doesn't need these bearings of race. It doesn't need these bearings of things that are not natural. It doesn't matter. It's who you love. The more God you have, it's an omnipresence. It's an omnipresence. And just like God has color in you, has life in you, has God in you, he's got God in the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person, and the next person. I'm done.
Oh, man.
I think I stepped in the way a little bit. But Jason, I think that you are one of the most courageous of them all. You are one of the most you have the most beautiful spirit, dude. You have the most beautiful spirit, dude. Your spirit, dude. Your spirit, you humble me every day with your spirit. Your spirit, dude. Your spirit humbles me in ways that it blows my mind. The amount of love that you exude consistently, dude. It's your choice ultimately. But you gotta humble yourself. You have to listen, and that's a training, because that happens in the subconscious too. Dude, you talking for me, like, I have bad ADD. I have bad, you know what I'm saying, I get nervous. You know what I'm saying? I'm convinced after that I have performance anxiety on a large scale. Like when I get in people, when I think of like actual performance or having people watch me or go in any way, I get nervous as hell, dude. Because I don't like that. I don't like that star. That's why, like, I don't like that separation. I want to perform with my family. I don't want to perform on a stage, because become on a stage, that's how people get addicted. That's how idolatry happens. That's why they have choirs. We're all one band, one sound. You feel what I'm saying? Not that it's not Ron. He has his lights. But then, you know what I'm saying, there's a balance between it. Because it's leading, and they're typically leading the choir. They're leading the mass. But it takes a special kind of individual. It takes a loyalty and respect that God has for you divinely, and the loyalty and respect and the humbling that you have for yourself. You have questions. Your heart has questions. You have questions. Things look questionable, and so when we have questions, we seek to understand. When you go into a situation and you don't know, instead of getting tactically defensive, you ask questions. And when you ask questions, love becomes the answer. And when the answer is the love, your equation becomes no longer an equation, but just an existence, a being. Love. You don't have to start. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about love. It's not methodical. It's not mathematical. You don't have to think about love. So you had to decide whether you could love me. That's powerful. You had to decide. So somebody said on Facebook the other day, it said, love them all, trust no one. Love them all. And people like this comment. I said, okay, so how can you love somebody and not trust them? That implies that you haven't forgiven them. And that implies that you're taking in poison, which means that you don't love yourself in the first place. And because you're saying this, you see something in yourself. And because you don't trust yourself, because you know who you are, you don't trust other people. Because everything innately comes from you. Your perception, you create this reality too. You are co-creator in this. And so if you don't see the fruit of your existence, that's all it is. That's all it is. That's all your reality is. It's the fruit of your existence. What does your fruit look like? Who are the people around you? What are the things that you're doing? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what is your fruit of your existence, of your being, of Him having you? Do you understand it at its highest capacity? Are you producing at its highest rate? Because if you're not, you are a fool to yourself, and ultimately you're a fool to Him. You are a fool to Him. He made you to be of His image. And you're consciously deciding to be something else. Consciously deciding to be less than who you are. Less than divine. Not great. Not greatness. Any mere mortal can be great. But to be divine. God did this. You can't even take credit for it. Yeah, I'm great. Who are you? My God is divine. He did it without trying. Better than you could even think or imagine. Bruh, I learned something so passionate about love and about, because one thing I wrestle with, a bad light-skinned chick with the large behind. A bad light-skinned chick with a large behind. And the one thing I noticed, I was like, when I was a kid, I used to like white girls. I used to really be in the breast. I was in the breast really heavy. But then something shifted. Why all of a sudden do I have like this likeness to the lower half and the light skin woman like that? Why is there the barrier there? That's so limiting. Why is that? It's because I got switched. I got manipulated. I mean, first of all, dude, I was looking at porn when I was 11, 12. Actually, yeah,
I was like 7, 8.
I was in second grade. I was in second grade, dude. I was 7 years old. Wow. Dang, that's real. I was 7 years old. Didn't understand what it was. I mean, at that point, I was telling all my brothers and them. I would go on there, they'd be watching. I'd be like, they're watching porn. And I'd run upstairs and I'd tell. I was always that kid. Well, I didn't believe in the wrong. I was always the righteous one. You know what I'm saying? This has to be right. We got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be the one to tell on the group, even if it meant sacrificing myself, because I wanted us to be right. Because I knew what right was. But I used to be the one that got picked on, beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like all the time because of that notion, because of that idea. People thought I was soft. So they tried me. But God made me big naturally. It's made me big naturally, and I also know I know the power of my strength. I know the capacity of what I'm able to push out. I didn't understand it. I said, God, why'd you give me so much strength? Because He's prepared me my whole life for the purpose that I have. To show the divine light in others, to take on others' burdens because they can't take them on themselves, and because they can't accept themselves. But somebody has to accept them. Somebody has to love you. In order for you, sometimes it takes somebody loving you so you can love yourself. So you can see the divine image that is you. It takes that sometimes. God put each one of you here for a reason. God put in my life. He put us each in each other's lives. And He has led us to lead in a way that is not of our own choosing. Me and Ian, we wrestle with leadership.
Man.
We wrestle with it. You understand? We wrestle with it. He told me, he said, Chris, you're supposed to lead. I said, no, I'm not. I didn't want to. I didn't want to lead, but he saw it in me. And I said, no. No, I'm not a leader. Why? Because I know what it's like to fail as a leader. Dude, it's heartbreaking. It is. It's a different type of heartbreak. Just imagine you broke up with your girl. Okay, cool. You broke up with your team. That included your girl. That included your sister. That included your best friend. It's the whole team. The whole team broke up. Because you understand the way I build, the way I love, it's in movements. And when I see a movement of people die, dude, there's people that I know my music has impacted. People that I know I've connected to. You know, as a creator, to know what that feels like. To somebody catch up with you, dang man, when the last time you put something out, man? I know you in the studio, man, dude, you're a genius. To hear that and be like, bro, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. But the reason I don't remember, the reason I don't know what they're talking about, because the genius somehow happens divinely, dude. There's a force that takes over when you're writing. I know what it's like. That's why I'm like, okay, God, why have you given my writing back? What's going on? Why are you giving my writing back? And I know what it is. Our creation has to be divine. We are just vessels. We are just vessels. And so...
Inspired.
Inspired. What do you say? Break it down again.
Inspired just means what? In spirit?
Yes, in spirit. In spirit. And so...
That's like the...
And so it's really important that we stay in the spirit. We have to stay inspired. The role that Ian and I have is heavy. But the key is that we don't have... If you all lead yourselves and you lead and you understand what we're walking towards, you see the image, you will lead. You will hold an esteem for each other and for yourselves that will lead this thing naturally. Because of the principles, because of what we stand for. And I know, like, y'all don't even know what we're talking about, but there's things that have been cultivated since before I even thought of you. You feel what I'm saying? Before we even met each other, there's been things that have been being cultivated. Just to knew that was gonna come. That was gonna come. Knew that was gonna come. He put me in hiding because he said, "Nope, I won't allow you to be corrupted by this industry. I won't allow you to be corrupted by these things. So I'm not gonna let these things pass through for you. I'm gonna remove these people from your life. These best friends, these people that you so cling on to because you're emotional and you love hard, and that's the way I made you for a purpose. I'm going to let these people go. So you can walk in what you're supposed to do in its timing. I know that each and every one of you can speak to divine awareness. You are aware that something is happening. You might have seen some things. You might even yourself have a certain level of higher consciousness. You've been doing things and you've been speaking and you've been living in this place of love. You've been looking at money different. You've been looking at society differently. You might have been cultivating some plans that fit to that mold. You might understand some things in some books. You might even discover some things even yourself at a divine level. And if you do, that's amazing. Now it's only time to be intentional about it. It is time to move. You are on assignment. It is time to move. It is time to move. You are on assignment. It is time to move.